Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finale of the Virtual Design Master. This has been a wild ride through the program. We're very proud to have everybody here today. This is a particularly special day. So, welcome aboard for anybody who's watching us live. And hopefully you're watching through the Virtual Design Master app. Don't forget to go to virtualdesignmaster.com. You can grab the applications there for Google Play or for iOS devices. So, go in there, rate those, and that helps us along with the rest of the program. So welcome to everybody here. We've got our judging panel, our usual players here today. And to get things started, of course, the one thing we have to do is we have to thank our sponsors who have made this entire program possible, particularly to baremetalcloud.com and to Train Signal, presented by Pluralsight, who have provided a great prize here for our Virtual Design Master finalists that are going to be fighting for. And of course to radicalio.com. Radical.io provided the mobile app for us, and so Ian and his team did a great job over there, and we're super proud of all the work that's gone into that. So, and of course, my co-host, as always, Angelo Luciani. Angelo, welcome.
Hey, Eric. Good to be here. Excited for today.
This is a pretty good time here. Sorry, I should turn off all our phones here. Have to do that house cleaning items thing. And we're going to spend a special shout out today as well, of course, to at VMIS33, Melissa Palmer. Melissa actually provided our inspiration for the entire challenge array, starting with the zombie-themed destruction of the world that actually built us in our challenge. So we were very proud to have her be a part of this whole competition, and that was really, really cool. So what has brought us here? It's been an incredible ride. We are at challenge number 4 right now. We started at the beginning. Challenge number 1 was around design. We walked in here with 5 amazing people. We had Gert Van Gorp, Paul Valentino, Joe Graziano, Jonathan Frappier, and Akmal Wahid. So these guys came in and they did some really great designs. Slowly but surely, things got weeded out, and we ended up moving into our next challenge, which was around protection. So moving from the grand design into being able to do a complete BCP design in a failover in a very, very distinct and expansive scenario. It was really great work that was done, as well as pricing. So not only just being able to come up with a wild idea and being able to put it technically together, but having the business acumen to go in and figure out how you could present this in a CIO style of presentation. So we had some great work that was done there. Then we moved in out of the traditional data center into orchestrate. So challenge 3 was around orchestration and automation. This is where guys like Josh are at home. This is where we do some really amazing things, and taking that traditional data center mentality and moving it to that next step, which brings us here today to challenge number 4, which is called Journey to the Cloud. Thank you again to baremetalcloud.com, who provided the infrastructure for our competitors to work within. So the challenge coming to today was each of our competitors was given 2 physical servers in the baremetalcloud.com environment. Each of those was able to create their own virtual cloud in 2 specific servers, and we were having the competitors had to connect the workloads together, or connect the clouds together, and transfer workloads in between. So this was going back to some really base stuff, the design plans, and taking that and actually putting it into live action in a very short time frame. So this is a pretty great effort that was done by our finalists here, and we're pretty amazed by what's gone on. So Angelo, I guess without further ado, and actually one more thing before we move into to the actual challenge review. We want to talk about the reach we've had, and we're very proud of this. So we, in fact, have been viewed in 31 different countries, and our videos here and our live events have actually had over 79.5 hours of viewing time. So it's been really amazing to have all of you be a part of this program who have been watching, and we hopefully have added back value to you and helped to expand what your thought of community is, and bring these competitors and show you the amazing talent that these guys have. So Angelo, here we are. Let's get things underway.
Okay, great. Thanks, Eric. Akmal, congratulations on making it this far. I know you persevered, worked hard, so congratulations. And you know the drill. You're going to have 3 minutes to defend or comment on your design starting now.
Hi, good morning, everyone. In the final task, there were two requirements. The first requirement was to build two distinct clouds, and the second requirement was to move the workload between both the clouds. We were provided with two physical servers from baremetalcloud.com. So these physical servers were provided with pretty good configuration in terms of memory and CPU. But these servers were limited with local storage and single network adapter. To overcome this limitation, I had two levels of virtualization. So on the physical server, I installed the ESXi. So that is my first layer of virtualization. On top of that, I have two virtual machines, again running ESXi. So that is my second layer of virtualization. So this is I have used the nested concept. So on top of this, I have my complete vSphere environment where I'm running vCloud Director and all the management virtual machines. To overcome the local storage, I have OpenFiler with which I'm presenting local storage as shared NFS volumes to the second layer of ESXi servers. Now, with both of these, I have all the vSphere features running, vMotion, storage vMotion, storage profiles, or distributed switch. So my two physical servers are divided into two clusters. One is management cluster, which has all the management VMs, including the two virtual centers. One virtual center is dedicated for the vCloud director, and the second virtual center will be taking care of the complete environment, including the vCloud director's virtual center. Now, the second physical server is only dedicated for the resources of vCloud Director. Now, I have created a single provider virtual data center, which is pointing to the root resource pool. And on top of that, I have two organizations created. These are my distinct clouds, operations and sales. Now, I have my workload running on this. So to move the workload between the clouds, I'm using vCloud Connector. Now, I have vCloud connector server and the node deployed on one of the cloud, and I'm also deploying the nodes on vSphere environment so that I can connect all of these nodes to the vCloud connector server. And with that, I'll get a single interface where I can see all the contents and I can move the workload between the clouds and also between vSphere and the cloud. So that was about my environment.
Great job. Good explanation, Akmal. Chris, any comments or questions for Akmal?
Yeah, comment that the work done was quite excellent. I was very happy to see that even in a very resource constrained environment. I mean, yeah, you had two physical servers, but you had to build two complete clouds and ultimately connect them. And you went ahead and said, all right, I'm going to make a management cluster. I'm going to do this right and make sure that everything is kind of built the way you should. You know, it didn't take it kind of, you know, to a halfway level of execution. So I really like seeing that. Can you describe to me when you had it all set up? You know, was it pretty straightforward to actually get the workload moved from one cloud to another? Did that actually work as you expected, or did you hit some snags?
Yeah, so the configuration went well. I was able to configure both the clouds and even the vCloud connector. Every configuration was well, but I wasn't able to move the workload between the cloud or between the vSphere or the cloud. That should have worked, but I didn't get much time to troubleshoot as I was still doing the configuration and documentation till the last day. But I'm sure if I had some more time, I could have troubleshooted that and I could have fixed the issue. But uh, to my knowledge, the configuration was done. Just that there was some networking issues, which I wasn't able to fix it within the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, you're in a nested of a nest virtual environment, you know, on two servers. So probably, I could see that being an issue where you'd have to work out VLANs or something like that. So I just was curious if you actually were able to get it actually working and moving workloads around in such a short period of time. But I'm impressed. If you look at the number of virtual machines you had to build, it was a lot of effort there.
Great, thanks, Chris. Josh, comments or questions for Akmal?
Yeah, I'm actually following with what Chris said there. I was immediately jumped out about having the management cluster, and I was very glad to see that. That can be very critical environments when you're dealing with cloud type scenarios. With respect to the networking, you know, where do you think that problem may have been, or what would have been your next step as to troubleshooting that?
So, in my environment, I found two issues. I wanted to have my environment to support even the VLANs because when I created my nested environment, I had enabled a promiscuous mode so that the virtual machines which will be created on top of the second layer of ESXi, they should communicate. And I had also set the VLAN to 4095 so that I can to the virtual machine port group of the first ESXi server so that I can get even I can benefit the with the VLANs. So that didn't work for me, but I wanted to go through the logs. The other issue which I found was I wasn't able to move the workload between the clouds or between vSphere and the cloud using vCloud connector. But I was able to move the uh, workload from vSphere to cloud directly from the vCloud director. So I think I missed out some networking related configuration while configuring the vCloud connector. So I would, if I was given another chance to go through my environment once again, I would see the configuration once again with respect to the networking and see if I have missed out any configuration, or I'll go through the logs and see if I can find something from there to start with.
Yeah, no, that's a good explanation. I know, the biggest challenge, aside from, storage replication and being able to, you know, migrate, the storage element, networking, man, that one's a beast. It's no fun whatsoever.
Great, thanks, Josh. Akmal, great job. Great competitor. Great to have you on this competition. Eric, I'm going to pass it back over to you.
Okay, well, we had a scheduling challenge with Jonathan. Unfortunately, Jonathan was unable to attend, so Jonathan went a different route, and he actually chose to dabble in some OpenStack on our environment. We wanted to push our competitors to some pretty intense levels, and we want to move them into some different spaces. So it was really curious how we had two very distinctly different ways that they attacked the problem, even heading into the orchestration challenge. We saw the differences in how Akmal treated it and how Jonathan treated it. So it was really good to see, guys that just went out and they tested their limits and they tried some really exciting technologies. Unfortunately, what ended up coming at the tail end of Jonathan's work, he had a few personal challenges that affected his schedule, and unfortunately, what he resulted was he was not able to complete his cloud deployment. So Jonathan does send his best, and he wanted to, say, well, at best, he took a tactic, but he was not able to complete. So, maybe quickly we'll just ask the guys, let's talk about, what you thought about what was Jonathan's choice in tactic and choosing a non, we said it was an open door, and he took a very interesting way. Chris, what do you think about, Jonathan's choices with his cloud deployment?
Well, there's definitely something to be said for swinging for the fences and taking the long shot. But I think, virtual design master, in order to feel comfortable with a design, you got to have that kind of exposure and experience and, the know-how to really execute upon it. I would think it would be somewhat challenging to the point where it may not have been the best idea to go with a technology that you're completely unfamiliar with, just because, at the very, very best, you're relying on other people's kind of know-how to help guide you to make a design potentially for someone else, and you don't really want to make them the bleeding edge, person that you're cutting your gums on. So, interesting tactic. I don't think I would have done the same thing, but it is what it is.
Josh, what do you have to offer on Jonathan's choices?
You know, I've thoroughly enjoyed throughout this competition that each competitor has had their own unique strengths and capabilities, and the choices that they've made on the products that they've used, and their strategy. I am in agreement with Chris in the fact that at this stage, that was probably tactically not a good idea. But at the same time, I thoroughly would have enjoyed seeing that implementation in place because, you know, one of the challenges in doing design is meeting the objective and in doing it in such a way that you solve the problem and provide the capabilities that are required. Although I think in this case, sticking with something that was a little more in your wheelhouse might have been prudent.
Great. Well, thanks, Josh. So, as we come into our finale here, this is our last moments. This has been an incredible program. As Chris and Josh have alliterated to, and Angela's talked about. It's amazing to see the talent that's come through with all of our competitors. We have had some incompletes, we have had some completes, we've had choices in design versus going with comfort. There's a lot of different criteria that are going to choose what makes a virtual design master. So as we come out in 2013, our first ever finale, we would like to welcome aboard Akmal Wahid, and thank you and congratulations that you are the winner of the first ever Virtual Design Master competition. We are very proud, presented by, of course, baremetalcloud.com, who are going to provide you with a $1,500 voucher to use towards continued cloud use in their environment, so you can use it for any of a variety of things you would like to, and by TrainSignal as a part of the Pluralsight family. So now, for all those things that you were ever unsure of, you now have one full year subscription to their entire array of training tools. And in fact, as we always mention, and it's worth the mention, of course, Chris has done a great vCloud Director program there, so it's well worth watching. And but Akmal, congratulations! You've proven some really incredible talent is sitting in there, and we're very proud. So thank you very much for taking part in the program.
Thank you so much, guys. I mean, it wouldn't have been possible without Eric and Angelo. I'm really thankful to you because you have organized this event so awesome. I mean, I mean, all those tasks were very challenging, and there was a lot of learning in each of the tasks. I didn't realize how I spent 1.5 months, and it was a great learning treat for me. And the other best part of this competition was to talk to the judges whom we used to follow through Twitter or following their blogs or watching their videos on Train Signal or other training institutes. So it was a great pleasure to talk to judges and to get a good feedback from them. And I really feel honored, and uh, I think now it's my turn to give it back to the community. So I was kind of lazy, and I never used to blog. So I'm thinking of starting blogging, and whatever I have learned from my experience, I'll share with the community so that even I will learn along with them, and I'll also share my knowledge with the others. So I'll start with that. And this competition was a kind of prototype for me to understand how VCDX work. So my next preparation would be for VCDX. So I need to prepare more on designing stuff so that I can one day I can become a VCDX certified. So that is my other targets. So I thank once again everyone. I'm very proud to be part of this competition. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, Chris,
Congratulations, Akmal. You worked hard. It sounds like you even grew technically, which was one of our goals. Now you want to give back to the community, which was another one of our goals. So you're hitting on everything, and that's just awesome. And you had this unique opportunity to get in front of these great judges that we do follow on Twitter and social media, and to actually get their feedback on your designs. It's really a unique opportunity. So I'm glad that you were able to have this chance to get in front of these folks, because it's awesome. So I'm glad to hear. Really glad to hear that you really want to give back and grow even more. So that's just super.
Josh, we're as we wind down, we congratulate Akmal as VDM #1. What do you have to say about the whole program?
Well, first off, congratulations, Akmal. Job well done. Thoroughly enjoyed your designs and the work that you did. I think you've demonstrated a solid competence in the work that you are doing. And as an addition to what you've already achieved and earned by becoming VDM 001, if you do go to submit for your VCDX, I'll be more than happy to provide some feedback on your submission and to help you in your preparations. So just let me know, and I'll do what I can. And maybe someday I'll get off my tough and do it myself.
Yeah. Chris, as the VDX on the panel here, and obviously you've been through many a design. Tell us how did you think the whole program went, and what do you want to say to Akmal here?
Yeah, for those that haven't reviewed any of the challenges from the paper perspective, definitely go take a look. The amount of detail, the storytelling, and the craftsmanship of the humor and just the interesting level of detail that were put into the documents made it interesting, enjoyable to kind of see what would come out of the challenge, enjoyable to read the results, and I can only imagine how much effort was put into creating all the documentation, doing all the scheduling, etc. So I think for your first season on Virtual Design Master, it was a resounding success from a perspective of putting together everything and having to execute really, really well. I'm very excited to watch. I don't think I'll be judging the next one, but hopefully I get to just be the audience member for season 2. I'm really stoked to see what you've had zombies basically devouring the populace and requiring people to use servers from 2005. I don't know. You got the bar pretty high up. How you're gonna beat that the next season? Helicopters or nukes or something. And then Akmal, throughout this whole process, I've been very impressed with the amount of thought put forward towards your work, but also the amount of effort it takes to execute on every one of these challenges. And I think I've said this pretty much every time that we go through one of these different episodes, but I really hope everyone understands the time crunch that all the contestants have to go through to execute. Just creating an entire vCloud environment ×2 with management cluster. That's a non-trivial amount of effort to get that operational. I've rebuilt my lab enough to know that's a lot of work, and to do that in an unfamiliar environment is very impressive. So congrats, you definitely earned the win on this one.
Angelo, we're winding down. I tell you, it feels like I'm losing my family here. It's going to be a shame not to have this the regular Friday night event here.
Yeah, and I know you're going to share a little bit more about this a little later, but yeah, I mean, I want to get ready for season 2, folks. It's going to be bigger. It's going to have more sponsors. But I want to pay I want to say particular thanks to our judges for the time commitment that they put into this. Also, they're also mentoring these competitors along the way. So I want to thank them for their mentoring, for their time. I know we all have jobs and lives, but this is something that it's unique, and it's very special them to actually put in the time to help develop these participants. So thank you very much for that, guys.
Well, definitely. I want to extend the thank you. So, of course, Chris Wall from wallnetwork.com, Josh Atwell, well known for vtesseract.com. We're glad to see some blog posts firing back up there. And Akmal, we look forward to being able to see more stuff being shared out from you. What you've expressed is exactly the reason why we wanted to start this competition, was the idea of reaching up to our mentors, looking to them for advice, and then taking what we learn, and really extending ourselves, and then taking that and reaching right back into the community. So we are very proud of how this all went down. And as we go out here, we want to say a big special thanks to everybody who's been a part of this program, all of our sponsors. Again, baremetalcloud.com have done an amazing job of providing the space for us to do this. Train Signal and the Pluralsight family have been phenomenal in supporting us and bringing now another year subscription to Akmal to be able to go and push him up to that next level, even beyond. And to radicalio.com, who have been really phenomenal, putting together a mobile app and being able to deliver. We've been really impressed by the work that's been done by Ian and his team there. So make sure everybody reaches out to those guys and says thanks. Watch for more as we head into season 2. And Angelo, we've got a couple of guys have some projects that are coming up. So let's plug those, because we want to give due note to what's coming up here.
Yeah, thanks for that, Eric. Just want to mention to everyone, Chris Wall's got a networking for VMware admins book coming out from VMware Press in 2014. That's something to look out for. Keep on your radar. And in the immediate term, the Chicago VMUG has a full-day user conference on October 22nd. Chris, if you want to add anything to the share anything else about the VMUG?
Yeah, so we got some new developments that I haven't really published yet, but I'll go ahead and share the secret. We're actually going to have the certification team is coming out. You can actually get certified in any one of or all 3 VCAs, the VMware Certified Associates, for free on site. So if you come out, you'll get a voucher code. If you don't have the time to do it while you're on site, it's good until I think the 28th. So basically, we're giving you 5 full days after the conference also to get as certified as you would like with the VCAs. Wow. We're also going to have an actual kind of educational session the night before. VMware's like reserving a whole classroom. I think it seats anywhere from 20 to 40 people if you want to come out the night before. Sit down with some people to learn about different VMware offerings, solutions, etc. They're also going to hand out vouchers for the VCA then. And we have procured about 10 grand worth of laptops, iPads, tablets, a whole $4,000 home lab to give away. So there's lots of carrots that I keep trying to dangle out there. Yeah. If any one of those carrots sound good, make your way on over to the Rosemont Convention Center on October 22nd. Definitely say hi, and there's tons of great things you can learn and experience at our full-day free conference, including free Wi-Fi this year.
Oh, awesome. Great. Sounds good, Chris. Thanks. And Josh also has a book coming out, Mastering VMware vSphere 5.5. I believe a November release date. And he's also got, we also have, Josh's team has also got the V Brown Bag automation series on the go right now. That's a great series. It's got me interested in beginning to learn Puppet myself, so that sparked that in me. So that's great. So, Josh, do you want to add anything else?
Not a whole lot. Yeah, the automation series, I'm very excited about that. So far, it's gone very well. We'll have Alan Renouf next week, where he'll be getting started with Power CLI in much greater detail than I went into. And I think it's an absolute must that we're going to have to get Akmal on the podcast at the first of the year.
Great.
See, this is how the V Brown Bag works.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Chris, Josh, thanks again for your involvement in this competition. Eric, I'll throw it back to you.
All right. Well,
I feel like when I say that I'm on a football field somewhere saying, Eric, I'll throw it back to you. I don't know. Maybe it's too much NFL or something. I don't know.
I'll have my remote mic. Hey, well, anyways, thank you very much. We are coming to the close of the first Virtual Design Master. Congratulations to Akmal Wahid, VDM #1, and thanks again, Angelo, as always, my co-host. Chris Wall for being a great great contributor to this whole program. Josh Atwell as well. You guys have been phenomenal, and we have been very proud of this whole program. For those who are watching us online, congratulations for joining us in this amazing program. And thank you all for your support. For those who are watching the recording, thank you again. And don't forget to reach out to us through virtualdesignmaster.com keep your eyes on the news. We are going to be relaunching the site with some new look and feel shortly, but this is going to be a continuing rolling program. This is not just about this competition, but it's about the entire community support that we're building around this, and we're going to reach out to our great authors, bloggers, and other contributors in the community, and we're going to put together some community newsletters and some other great pieces of information that we're going to be able to feed out to folks. So make sure you get in there. We're going to have subscriptions available in there so people can get email subscriptions and see the great info that's going to be shared. We're going to do some work with some other conferences and some other podcasts to sort of, we just want to do everything we can to take these guys that have been phenomenal in our community and showcase the work that they do. So we've been very proud of this whole program. So Angelo, thank you for all your support in what you've done to put this together. And thank you again to baremetalcloud.com, to pluralsight.com, and the Train Signal family, as well as radicalio.com, and Ian and his team. Thank you all. And this is a wrap. Welcome to Virtual Design Master.